have been vocal critics of Pac-12 Commissioner George Kliavkoff, right?
Yeah.
And I think justifiably so. This guy won't stop talking, and I don't understand it. So you know that Deion Sanders.
Prime
time. You know that Deion Sanders gets the head job at Colorado.
Yeah.
All the while, including a couple of guys that are hacks on YouTube, talked to wondered openly, well, why would Deion take the Colorado job in a dying conference?
We did what we did.
We talked about that. Well, yesterday, George Kliavkoff was asked about Deion, and he said, I just can't believe that you guys don't know this. And that is that, well, we didn't do a TV deal because we were waiting for Deion Sanders. He raises the value of the TV deal. George Kliavkoff said that. The commissioner of the Pac-12 yesterday said one of the reasons they haven't signed a TV deal is because they were waiting for Deion Sanders.
My fucking ass.
No way. You're telling me Deion's got that much influence on a TV deal?
You waited for Deion Sanders.
Come on, guy.
Are you? You were not
Deion,
waiting.
And this is my question. So how much value do head coaches have in parlance of conferences? So like Nick Saban, just as an example. You can use anybody you want, but we'll just use Nick Saban as a
Coach Saban.
Yeah, Coach Saban. So are you really telling me that Nick Saban in a conference as strong as the SEC has that much pull on a TV deal? Are you really telling me that Prime has more pull than Lincoln Riley, more pull than Kyle Whittingham, right? Like more pull than these other guys that have been there and done some things. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like that's why this doesn't add up in my head.
George Kliavkoff says new media rights deal has been held up not only because of the UC Regents, but the hiring of Deion Sanders. Kliavkoff said, quote, why would we do a media deal before that? He absolutely adds value to the league, end quote. Okay, so how long have you known that Deion Sanders was coming to Colorado? Because you opened up your negotiations in the fall. Have you known for months and months? And you've just been waiting? You sly little dog. No, he hasn't known. This is more ridiculousness from George Kliavkoff. And I continue to talk about this.
Yeah.
This guy is an albatross around the neck of the Pac-12. He is not better than Larry Scott as a commissioner. He's not. He has done absolutely nothing. He has watched UCLA and USC walk out the door. And he has, in my opinion, lied about UCLA's financial plight. He is, by some accounts, recruiting people to write letters like this former UCLA football player writing letters saying how it's going to damage the mental health of UCLA athletes. And these people that Kliavkoff has writing letters to talk about what they should do with the new money if UCLA is in fact allowed to go. This is ridiculous. You have done nothing. The idea now that you're going to try and spin that a TV rights deal hasn't been negotiated because you were waiting for Deion Sanders is farcical. First of all, it's Colorado, dick.
Yeah.
It's not like Deion Sanders was taking, the Oregon job, and all of a sudden Deion had billions of dollars in Uncle Phil Knight's money, and he's running Oregon, and they're winning national championships. Deion Sanders hasn't coached a game at Colorado, and hopefully, and I say hopefully, and I don't say it confidently, but hopefully he will not have coached a game yet when you agreed to whatever this TV deal is going to be.
Right.
Because it better be done in January. But you cannot tell me that you're sitting here, we haven't done a TV deal because we knew Prime was coming to Boulder.
Congratulations, but that's bullshit.
Let me ask you this. How many millions does Prime add to a Pac-12 TV deal? Are you really going to sit here and make me the argument that Deion Sanders adds $1 million a year per school? Does he add $10 million a year? Because Deion Sanders is here, we're going to pay you $10 million more a year?
That's enough of that crap.
Come on.
Yeah, that's not true, dude.
Come on. If you've got 10 teams left You're telling me that Deion Sanders is worth $1 million per team? No, he's not. Because nobody's making Stanford a good football team.
No.
Nobody's making Cal a good football team. Nobody's making Chip Kelly a better football coach. Let's just be real honest about that. You are paying for games that people want to watch. If you're telling me that Colorado's bottom line now and their value is higher, okay, I agree with that. I think Prime adds value to Colorado. He doesn't add value to Washington State. He does not add value to Oregon State.
Nah.
Come on, dude. Like it seems like this is every day now.
Yeah.
We get something stupid out of George Kliavkoff.
Yep.
Either it's the back of the envelope calculations, it's the Pac-12 homer media slurping him all the way down.
I haven't talked to anybody that approves of the move from UCLA to the Big Ten.
It's just ridiculous to me that here we sit and George Kliavkoff really thinks that people believe that Deion Sanders is why no TV deal has been done in the Pac-12.
Come on.
Well, what are we talking about?
And I just don't. I feel like it's just the classic, like, line of statements of like, hey, like, we're just gonna say whatever we need to say to try to feed this narrative, and it's just so clear that it's just not true. He's not honest about what the reality of the situation is, and then the TV deal is gonna come out. And people are going to have a lot of questions if it's not what he says it is. And it's like, all right, what happened to Prime adds all this value? What happened to nobody wants UCLA and USC to leave? Like, what happened to all that?
It's amazing. Josh Levering says, Georgie boy makes you want your team to play in the big sky.
Yeah.
He does. He absolutely does. I don't know. It's so frustrating to me that this is... Anyway, Fat Jesus says Kliavkoff is becoming John Lovitz, the John Lovitz liar character. Wait for him to tell us he's dating Morgan Fairchild now. Exactly right. Exactly right. Jake, do you remember?
No.
You don't know who John Lovitz is?
No.
No, I'm not going there. You don't know who. Anyway, my point is, this is just crazy. This is crazy to me that this is who George Kliavkoff is now. I mean, this is who this league is. I think Prime adds money. He does not add TV value. And again, I will just sit here and say, I think their best, highest revenue source is going to be Amazon.
Yeah.
And if I'm the Pac-12, as soon as the UCLA fate is known, I got to get a TV deal done. And again, that is what? That's a week from yesterday.
Yeah.
That we should have clarity on UCLA. I mean, is there any... I think the UC Board of Regents believe that they can stop them from going. And my guess is they're not going to stop them, because I think they know if they do try to stop UCLA, they're going to be in court.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think anybody wants that. I think UCLA is going to have to give up a significant amount of money if they get in the Big Ten deal. That'd be my guess. The other thing that I would guess is that Amazon winds up somewhere in the neighborhood of $30 million per year. So I would guess it's a $300 million deal per year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's probably it. And I think that the bigger issue is if you sign with Amazon, I think it very well may push out ESPN from TV, from doing business with the Pac-12. Because the other thing that you have to think about here is that you already have the Big 12 and you already have the SEC. And when we're talking about, games, I would assume that Colorado is going to be on TV a lot next year.
Yeah.
I would assume. And if Deion wins, they're going to be on TV all the time. But if you're ESPN, are you willing to kick in $150 million a year for Deion Sanders? Because that's where the rubber meets the road in this conversation.
I think you have to see what he does. I think, he's got to prove, like, the first 5 games, if he's 4-1 or 5-0, then I think money's going to start to come in. If he shows that, hey, this is legit and that Jackson State wasn't just, hey, you were at Jackson State picking on little guy. Like, if he shows that he legitimately can coach a P5 and that the coaching staff can come through, like, then I think, things change. Again, winning is the straw that stirs the drink. So if you can be leading the Pac-12 or the Pac-10 at that point, I guess, or whatever, after 5-6 weeks, yeah, I think there's going to be more TV opportunities.
Mr. Johnny says, can't wait to watch Utah and Oregon on a glitchy Amazon stream.
Yeah, that's going to be great, isn't it?
But I don't think it's a glitchy Amazon. I think you got to have good internet, which is the problem, because I think as much as all of us take internet for granted, trust me when I say not everybody has great internet and not everybody is an Amazon subscriber. And I don't know, but again, is the Pac-12 a stream league? I don't believe that Amazon raises their profile that much. I really don't. I think when you look at Amazon and you look at things like the Pac-12 network, does Amazon give them more eyeballs than the Pac-12 network? Well, everything does.
Yeah.
But does Amazon put them in a place where more people who matter are watching Pac-12 football games? Probably not. Probably not. And the other problem is, what about basketball? Because I'd also remind you that UCLA and USC are two of the better basketball teams in that league as well. So what's Pac-12 basketball come down to?
Yeah, and that's why I think the deal is so crucial, because if you're going to talk all this smack about waiting for Prime and, hey, we don't believe that anybody wants UCLA and USC to leave and all this stuff, the TV deal better be prolific. I mean, it better be like the best we've seen in a long time.
Yeah. Let's see. Mike Maples says, quack season. You and Utah are already in the whack. Pretty much. I think it's so interesting to me that the apathy from the fan bases towards the Pac-12 has got nothing but worse. Mm-hmm. It's got nothing but worse. All right, our college football talk on the Monty Show is brought to you by our good friends at Barbecue Pit Stop, bbqpitstop.com. No matter where you get the show, you can always shop at Barbecue Pit Stop on their website, bbqpitstop.com. And again, when you walk into any of their 5 Utah stores at Barbecue Pit Stop that you are going to get the best equipment, whether that is a Traeger, a Yoder, a Big Green Egg, Camp Chef, pizza ovens, tongs, accessories, grill covers. They've got it all. That's not even in question. But again, as I tell you every day, the asado seasoning is why you go to Barbecue Pit Stop.